Hey everyone, Lone Wolf Jedi here, and this is going to be another game review. It's going to be a review on a game I recently picked up for my PSP, and yes, that, by the way, that is my PSP there on the screen. And the game I'm going to review is Dissidia Final Fantasy. Now, what do I have to say about this game except, what I was expecting was just your basic Final Fantasy game. You know, a bunch of people go on an adventure, and, they defeat a big enemy and all that. Actually, this game surprised me. And a little thing here, I'm going to be getting very much in depth on this game, so it's probably going to be more than one video. So enjoy. Anyway, getting on with this thing. Basically, it combines two of my favorite video game genres, those being fighting and RPG. What it does is it takes the protagonist and antagonist of the um, first 10 Final Fantasy games and gets them all together in one big all-out brawl for the fate of the universe or something like that. Because in the story of the game, the goddess of discord, Cosmos, and the god of no, the goddess of harmony, Cosmos, and the god of discord, Chaos, have been in a constant battle um, for control of the universe. And one time, and Chaos got these very powerful warriors to match up with Cosmos's warriors, and she ended up getting their opposites. Hence, the 10 protagonists and 10 antagonists. Now, I'm going to be covering every single area of the pretty much. Oh, well, not every single. I mean, I haven't exactly done everything in this game yet, but I'm going to be covering a lot of this. First of all, I'm going to start off with the characters. Like I said, it's the first 10. It's the protagonist and antagonist of the first 10 Final Fantasy games. And first off, you have the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1 and his opposite, Garland. Second, you have Fianl from Final Fantasy 2 and his opposite, the Emperor. Onion Knight from Final Fantasy 3 and his opposite, Cloud of Darkness. Cecil Harvey from Final Fantasy 4 and his opposite, Golbez, who happens to be his brother. From Final Fantasy V, you have Bart Klauser and his opposite, Exdeath, who happens to be some kind of thing that runs the void or something. From Final Fantasy VI, you have Tara Branford and her opposite, Kefka Palazzo, who I think is, like, in my opinion, the second best, well, the most annoying evil guy in games. Um, and in from Final Fantasy VII, you have um, you have Cloud and Sephiroth. From Final Fantasy VIII, you have Squall Lanhart and Ultimecia. That I don't really agree with. I mean, to be honest, if it was Squall, I would actually want to go with his actual opposite, that being Safer Almasy. But this is Square Enix that we're dealing with, and then there's the next one I'm thinking. Oh, and then there's from 9 you have from Final Fantasy 9 you have Zidane, or Zidane as they call him, and Kuja. From Final Fantasy X, you have Titus, or Titus as they call him, and Jecht. And there's actually also two extra characters that are added on after you make it through the Shade Impulse story, and those two characters being Shantaro from Final Fantasy XI and Gabranth from Final Fantasy XII. Um, Continuing on here. Now I'm going to go into the different modes of this game. First off, being story mode, and the first, basically when you start off, you it's 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 just your general. You start off. It's a tutorial. It'll give you basic the stage elements, what you need, and what you do, and you do it with the Warrior of Light. Then you can go to and do your own, do any each of the protagonists' different stories. I personally did it from the easiest, which is they're ranked on the star system, from the easiest to the hardest. Started off with Cloud, then I ended it with Terra. Um, then after that, after you get that done, well, after you get the one person's story mode done, you open up new areas. You also open up what's called Shade Impulse, which I wouldn't exactly recommend going into right away. Because Shade Impulse, it's the character, the creatures in that, the enemies in that are way high level and stuff. And after you defeat Shade Impulse, the main boss of Shade Impulse is Chaos. You open up the two more areas in the story mode. That one being the story you do with Shantaro and the story you do with Gabranth. After you beat those, you open up those two characters. You unlock those two characters, and you also open up Inward Chaos, which is actually the area I'm working on right now. Next up, the next mode is arcade mode, where you can choose basically anybody from the game, um, and you can just go at it in just you. First off, you have normal mode. That's the first mode you have. You can also unlock hard mode and time attack mode. Um, the normal mode characters are pretty simple, and you only take on 5. In hard mode, I believe it's 8, and they're all pretty much hard. They're all pretty much difficult characters to face. Time attack mode, you gotta go within a certain. You gotta do, you basically do a certain amount of time. If you beat if you beat time attack mode within 12 minutes, you unlock what's called an accomplishment, which I'll get into that on probably. Look at the time now, probably another video, probably a later video. But then there's trying to think here. After that, you have quick battle mode. Quick battle mode allows you to just take one of your characters and face one of the other characters in in just one-on-one. For instance, later on in the game, when I had some of my characters at high level, I did that. I took one of them and faced one character at a low level and pretty much beat the crap out of them. Anyway, well, I'm actually running little low on time on this. So in the next video, I plan on covering Dual Coliseum mode, which is one you unlock. Communications mode, which basically is online. The other different things you can do, like PB catalog and other extra stuff. So until then, see you then.